Hey everyone, we need to continue our conversations about filtering, and as with the distribute list, this next option that we're going to be discussing is not going to be surgical in nature. It's going to be the equivalent of filtering prefixes with a hand grenade, and that's going to be the idea of EIGRP's maximum hop count. Now we have our configuration here, and to just revise where we are, everything that's connected to the DMVPN on the remote sites is running in named mode. Cat1 and R1 are running in named mode. Everything else is operating in EIGRP classic mode configuration. We've removed all of the route tag lists that we had configured in our infrastructure. We're no longer using any distribute lists, and we should be seeing all of our prefixes. I want to illustrate that by going directly to R22 and seeing if we are going to be able to ping prefixes. So let's say ping 11.0.11 on R1, which we can. Let's see, can we hit the DMVPN config? So tracer to 16.19.19, 20.20, 21.21. Now just to check, let's see if we are actually going to be able to load balance. So we'll do a trace route to 11.11.0.11, and let's make sure everything's up and operational. And as we can see, we're going through R2 and R3. So to reach these prefixes on R1, we're doing load sharing. And to reach the prefixes to our DMVPN attached remote sites, let's go ahead and just verify how we're going to go. So trace route to 172.16.19.19. So we see that we are, in this instance, going to go from 22 to R3. From R3, we're going down to Cat2. From Cat2, we're going to R5, and we're going up to our different destinations. And we should follow that path for every one of these. So let's just check it one more time using 2020. And again, we're going to see that we're following that exact same path. So for each of these, this is the path that we're going to follow to reach the DMVPNs. Now, what I want to do is I want to focus on these prefixes that we have that we're learning in the context of our DMVPN. How many hops away are they? So if I come over to my R22 and I type show IP route for 172.16.19.0, 255.255.255.0, and I hit enter, notice it's going to tell me my hops are 4, it's 4 hops away. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to reach that destination. 1, 2, 3, 4 to reach that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 to reach this one. So let's just double check that. So each of these should be 4 hops away from us. 4 hops. And then lastly, let's take a look at 21, which is 4 hops. Now, if we look at the loop or the interface that's attached to the DMVPN connection, let's take a look at 10.1. Let's do this. So it'll be 10.10.10.19. Notice it's 3 hops away. So one of the things that I could do is I could come in here and I could say config T router EIGRP 10, and I could specify a metric, and one of my options is maximum hops. So advertise greater than X number of hops as unreachable. So if I come in here and I say maximum hops 4, now it says here advertise greater than X number, so greater than this value. So let's see if this actually got rid of our configs. So these prefixes that we have. So we'll take a look at 21. Notice it's still in my routing table, as is 19, as is 20. Now if I come back in here, config T router EIGRP 10, and I modify that command and say anything greater than 4 hops or 3 hops, let's see if that affects my configuration. So let's check 19, not in my table. Let's check 20, not in my table. Let's check 21. Not in my table. Can I still ping the loopback? So ping 10, 10, 10, 19. Can I ping 20? Can I ping 21? Yes, I can. So what we see here is all I said was any prefixes that is being advertised to me with a metric that is greater than the metric that I define, not equal to, but greater than the metric that I define in the idea here of the EIGRP metric max-hops command. What we're going to have is we're going to say we're going to treat that as being infinite. So in a way, it's very similar to saying the administrative distance is 255. It's unbelievable. So all we're doing here is we're saying that if it's further than this distance away, no longer use it. So it's not equal to or further, it's if it's further than the defined value. So with that being said, let's take a look at what our default configuration would have been. So if I come in here and I type config t router EIGRP 10, and let's take the configuration that I had off. Now that's going to cause everything to resync. That's fine. Notice our neighbors actually went down here. Max hop was changed. We now have this new adjacency. So that was more severe than resyncing. And what I want to do is I'm going to show run all, and I'm going to say include section router. And let's see what we got here. Notice it tells me my metric maximum hops is 100. So by default, EIGRP is going to say anything that's further than 100 hops away is going to be treated as being infinite distance away. So I'm not going to place any of those prefixes in my routing table. Now, what is it by default? Because this is a point of debate with a lot of people. Config T router EIGRP 10, and if I come up here and say metric maximum dash hops and I use my context sensitive help, it's telling me that 255 hops is the maximum. So if I come in here and say 255 do show run pipe section router, what am I going to see? It takes 255. Let's take a look at another point here. Let's see, do show IP protocols. Notice it tells me what my maximum hop is. So again, I mean, we could spend all day talking about little defining nuances about EIGRP, but this is going to be the last point that I'm going to use. Sorry about that. This is going to be the last point that I use to illustrate filtering with regard to IPv4 prefixes. We still have to entertain the idea of IPv6, but there are just two more topics I want to make sure that we cover, and that's going to be the idea of how our router IDs are going to impact us when we have a functioning or an unfunctioning or dysfunctional EIGRP environment. And then the last thing is going to be how we can actually set up default metrics. All right, with that being said, I'll see you guys in those videos, and then what we'll do is we'll move into EIGRP for IPv6. Talk to you there. Bye-bye.